wisdom, folly, and the art of silence. In the landscape of human communication, words serve as both a bridge to connection and a barrier to understanding. While speech is a fundamental human tool, the motivations behind it vary wildly from person to person. As Plato, often attributed with the sentiment, famously suggested, "Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something." This dichotomy highlights a profound distinction between communication driven by substance and communication driven by ego, anxiety, or an inability to endure the power of silence. The stewardship of wisdom. For the wise, speech is a deliberate act. It is not a default setting, but rather a final step in a rigorous process of observation, reflection, and synthesis. A wise individual understands that language is finite and that once a thought is verbalized, it carries the weight of responsibility. Therefore, their speech is anchored in necessity. They speak because they possess a genuine insight, a question that fosters growth, or a truth that requires articulation to be useful to others. The wisdom here lies not just in the content of the words, but in the restraint exercised before they are spoken. The wise recognize that there is a vast, fertile territory between thought and speech. By pausing, they ensure that their contribution is intentional, relevant, and well considered. They view silence not as a void to be filled, but as a sanctuary where ideas are refined. When they do break that silence, the audience listens, not because the speaker demands attention, but because the words carry the gravity of genuine substance. The compulsion of folly. Conversely, the fool, in the philosophical sense, operates from a place of compulsion rather than intention. For them, speech is a defense mechanism. It may arise from an insecurity that fears the emptiness of a quiet room, or from a desperate need to establish relevance, dominance, or presence in a group. In this state, the need to be heard takes precedence over the need to be meaningful. This type of communication is often characterized by its lack of filter and its reliance on noise. It is the conversational equivalent of filler, intended to distract or to assert a presence that the speaker feels is otherwise insufficient. Because the motivation is to say something, anything, to fill the space, the quality of the message suffers. Words become a commodity used to buy validation, rather than a gift used to exchange knowledge. The tragic irony is that by speaking too much to prove their worth, the fool often reveals their lack of substance, eroding the very influence they sought to gain. The contrast: substance versus noise. The fundamental difference lies in the relationship with the listener. Cultivating intentionality. Ultimately, this ancient adage serves as a timeless reminder of the power of introspection. In an age where digital platforms offer a constant, overwhelming invitation to speak, tweet, post, and comment, the temptation to prioritize volume over value has never been higher. To embrace the path of wisdom is to reclaim the value of silence. It requires the courage to sit in a conversation without feeling the urge to dominate it, and the humility to realize that not every thought deserves a broadcast. By choosing to speak only when one truly has something to say, we not only improve the quality of our relationships and our discourse, but we also honor the sanctity of the truth itself. In a world that often measures success by the amount of noise we generate, true influence, and true wisdom, is often found in the quiet moments of deliberation that precede a truly meaningful word. If the wise speak only when they have something meaningful to contribute, it follows that their capacity to do so is predicated on a profound ability to listen. Active listening is not merely the act of waiting for one's turn to speak, it is a rigorous, disciplined engagement with the world. It is the necessary precursor to wisdom, serving as the bridge between raw experience and informed insight. At its core, active listening is an act of humility. It requires the speaker to set aside their ego, their agenda, and their immediate urge to formulate a clever rebuttal. By choosing to listen, the wise acknowledges a fundamental truth: they do not know everything. This humility is what separates the wise from the fool. The fool listens only enough to identify an opening for their own voice. The wise listener, however, treats every encounter as a potential source of data, perspective, or truth. They recognize that by silencing their own internal monologue, they create the necessary, psychological space to absorb what the other person is actually communicating, not just the words, but the intent and the emotion behind them. The 3 pillars of active engagement. To move beyond passive hearing into the realm of truly active listening, the wise employ 3 specific, deliberate practices. Presence. The wise listener provides the speaker with their full attention. In an era of constant distraction, this is the highest form of respect. By being fully present, they signal that the speaker's thoughts have value, which in turn fosters an environment where deeper, more honest communication can occur. Curiosity over judgment. Rather than immediately categorizing or critiquing what they hear, the wise person approaches the information with curiosity. They ask clarifying questions. What do you mean by that? Or, could you explain how you arrived at that conclusion? That invite the speaker to refine their thoughts. This curiosity transforms a simple exchange into a collaborative discovery. Synthesis. The wise listener actively processes what they hear, connecting new information to existing knowledge. They look for the underlying themes or patterns in the conversation. Because they are synthesizing rather than just recording, they are better equipped to offer a response that is genuinely additive when they do decide to speak. While the fool views silence as a void to be filled with noise, the wise listener views silence as a tool for deepening understanding. After someone has spoken, the wise person often pauses. This brief interval serves 2 functions. For the speaker, it provides them with the emotional safety to continue or elaborate. When a listener does not immediately interrupt, the speaker often ventures into deeper, more authentic territory. For the listener, it provides the critical time needed to digest the information and formulate a response that is measured and intentional. The feedback loop of wisdom. There is a symbiotic relationship between listening and speaking. By listening intently, the wise speaker learns more about the world, the people around them, and themselves. This accumulation of knowledge ensures that when they finally do speak, their words carry the weight of observation and the polish of reflection. In this way, active listening is not just a social grace, it is a primary method of self-improvement. It is the mechanism by which the wise curate their thoughts, ensuring that when they finally break the silence, they are offering something that truly matters. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Often attributed to Epictetus. By practicing the discipline of listening, we move away from the foolish necessity of needing to fill the air, and toward the wise position of speaking only when our words can serve a meaningful purpose. How do you find that your own listening habits influence the quality of the interactions you have in your daily life? Which one appeals to you more? Plato or Epictetus? Wise men speak cause they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Or, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Let us know in the comments section below. Have we inspired you to ponder on necessity to speak in real or in virtual life, to post or to comment? If you didn't subscribe yet to our channel, we invite you to do so now. Like this video and share with everybody, you're talking to much friends included. Until next time.